Investors are looking to this company for signs that AI is delivering on its promises and signs that the stock market can kind of keep on keeping on. Doug Flynn joins us, Flynn Zito, to talk about Nvidia, which we talked about many, many times because it's been, if you had to pick one stock, sometimes we say there are this group of stocks called the Magnificent Seven, but the most magnificent of the seven in terms of stock price performance by far has been Nvidia. Sometimes you set yourself up for a disappointment when expectations are high, but what do you think we're going to see this afternoon?
Yeah, this is such a big deal that yesterday on Google, Nvidia was searched more than either Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, or Taylor Swift. I just want to put it in perspective as to what's going on.
Did they spell it right? Yeah.
Perhaps not, but I think Google helps you get there. But the whole thing about this is that the market expectation is for about 140% revenue growth. And that's what the market's looking to see. And it's just been gangbusters. I mean, the stock is up 150% year to date. Even though we have a very good stock market year overall, this has just outpaced it because everybody's banking on AI, and this is sort of the proxy for all AI and all tech. And one other thing, right down the street, there's actually an Nvidia watch party going on at a local bar in Midtown. That's what's going on right now.
People need to get out a little bit more. But then again, there's a lot of money on the line. There's the Magnificent Seven, by the way: Alphabet, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, Amazon, and Apple, and then Nvidia, bottom right of our wall there. Again, this, like Doug said, this stock's been crazy. I mentioned right before the break that there were some analysts saying this is going to be a showstopper performance. It was a guy who you probably either know or certainly have read, the guy by the name of Dan Ives, who's a tech analyst, colorful dresser, by the way, at this place called Wedbush. Okay, so he says showstopper. What is that? How's the show not stopped already with what Nvidia does? How can they stop the show this afternoon?
Well, depending on if they outpace what the expectation is, you can get a 10% move in this stock. In fact, the futures markets are predicting a 10% move one way or the other. Now, let's put that in perspective. This stock being worth over $3 trillion means a 10% move is $300 billion of worth moving one way or the other. And to put that in perspective, out of the 3,700 companies on the stock exchanges, only 24 of them are even worth $300 billion. This stock could move that much by tomorrow morning, basically, with what's going on. So that's what the showstopper moves are, and that's why everybody's so hyped up about it.
Looking down at my tablet, we had a 1 month up there. I have that 1 year if you want to pop that up too. I know it's down a little bit today. This is what Nvidia's trading at, give or take. But this stock is it's just been straight up over the last year or so. The idea of it being a litmus test for AI, we get that, and we wonder what will happen this year. I almost wonder whether this is, if you're looking at the market, we know what the Fed's going to do, right? So we always say, if the Fed cuts rates, but the stock market a lot of times is based on, how, or should be based on how American companies, if we're looking at an index of American companies, are performing, their corporate earnings, how much money they're making. So to me, this is a more important event, maybe in some ways, than whatever the Fed does. I don't know.
It is in the long run. It's just a matter of how much they're going to cut in this first move next month.
I know, I'm trying to build it up, Doug. I'm trying to build it up. The big thing,
We're trying to get it more focused on the things that are more important longer term, but everybody's so short-term focused these days, and this is just one more thing that sort of speaks to that, I think.
All right, well, we'll pass along the headlines. I tried to hype it up as much as I could from Nvidia. Thank you, my friend.